Hey, everybody, welcome back to another amazing show. This is Real Estate Uncensored Marketing Roundtable. Now, we have an incredible new guest with us today, Brad McDaniel, my younger brother by 2 to 5 to 10 to 15 to 1,000 years. We don't really know really when he was born, but he's created an incredible new product. He's doing really cool stuff with your database. I have Nick Sakis, I have Jake Wolf, I have Gene Volpe, I have marketing masters around me all over the place. We're going to get into them right now, but before that, here's your intro. I have an all-star cast with me today right now. Mr. Jake Wolf, say hello and let everybody know what you're doing and where you're from.
Hello, world. Nice to be here today. Nice to be back on the round table. It's been quite a bit for me. I've had some, unfortunately, a big death in the family, and had been dealing with that. So, yeah, but good to be back.
Our hearts are with you,
yeah,
100%. And you know what? You look even more handsome than ever. So, you know what? Glad to have you back on the show.
I think it's that American flag. That's my thought.
Yeah, that's it.
He stinks. He reeks of freedom.
Oh God, who would want that in their life? Nick Sakis, who are you? Where are you from?
Nick Sakis from Tampa, Florida.
Okay, well that was lackluster. Good job.
Oh yes, it's all yes.
That's it. That's all we got.
We're totally supporting Greg today, aren't we? Just with like one-liners and stares.
We should really start recording before the show is live so we can hear the trash talking before the episode starts. I think people would like that. Should be a whole nother podcast, I think.
It really should be. It really should be. But you know, another good podcast is Mr. Gene Volpe. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm seeing double McDaniels today. It's a good day.
Hey, well, that's your blessing. Okay.
I gotta listen. I wish God would step his game up a little bit, because if that's my blessing, that sucks.
I knew somebody was going to go there.
Listen, has anybody got a grilled cheese so I can step up the blessing game a little bit? What?
All right, you chuckleheads. All right, here we go. Now, the star of the show, we have Mr. Brad McDaniel, my brother from the same mother, not a different mother. But you know what? He's the CEO of Likely.ai. They do incredible stuff in regards to real estate, kind of just information gathering. They have anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 data points on every single human being in the U.S. And so, guys, if you want to really get into your database, Brad and Likely.ai is the one shop I go to all the time. I own no stock. I have no financial gain on this, but I just love what they do. So, Brad, please introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Brad. I run Likely.ai. Been around for a couple of years now, and we've gotten the opportunity to learn how to help the industry using artificial intelligence and big data. And we like to play well with others. So we like to integrate and plug in with marketing platforms, CRMs, you name it, in order to allow you guys being the people that actually make the industry run, the realtors, the teams, the brokerages, be more effective, especially in a time like this with the shift. You know, we're going back into a skills-based market, and with that, you know, it's kind of back to some degrees. I'm marketing roundtable. You guys would probably know better than me, but you know, back to the basics and really fine-tuning your skill sets to remember how to do some of those fundamentals that work so well that you stop doing them. One of those funny things, right? And so a lot of the things that Likely can do is to help sprinkle a little AI on top of those fundamentals so you can be more effective. Think of us as Jake, as you would think from a military perspective, as a force multiplier.
Absolutely.
Where you have something that works, but there's holes or gaps in it, and you want to have more of you to do, be more effective. That's what we do, and we do.
You know what?
Ways.
I'm sorry, I cut you off, Jake. My apologies.
So I personally think it's like this. You remember the old days when we used to look at road maps and we didn't have GPS and shit on our cell phones? And try going to a destination across town now these days without your cell phone. Good luck, right? So,
MapQuest, baby.
yeah.
Oh,
Or
MapQuest,
the old
really?
trick ticks, right? So I personally think that if you're not using artificial intelligence data from Brad's side of the house at Likely, you're out of the game. So having that pre-market knowledge, what people might be doing, just gives you a leg up. So it's like that pull-up machine at the gym. You know how difficult a pull-up is, but you get on that pull-up machine and you set your little weight, and all of a sudden you look like a rock star at the gym because you can do it.
Yeah.
So, if you guys don't know what Likely AI is, you got to get over there, check it out, use the data, and go after it. So, but it's data, right? And you have to get your hands on the wheel and hit the gas with marketing on all approaches. Right now, the market condition is really awkward for a lot of people in a lot of different marketplaces. You got to get old school. You got to get hardcore, do your business push-ups and get with it. But I personally feel if you don't have Likely AI in your toolbox, you don't have the right toolbox.
Well, let's talk about Likely. And this, guys, this is not a sales pitch. This is just something that I use on a consistent basis. And Brad, we're going to come back to you in a second. Jake, phenomenal insight right there. I want to go to Nick and then Gene, just the way the boxes are working out here on the show. Nick, what's one way that you would use artificial intelligence to make yourself the most efficient agent in your marketplace?
Well, to kind of touch on like what Jake was saying, I think as we move forward, when somebody like maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I don't know, Brad, you started maybe even farther than that, like 8 years ago, right? When artificial intelligence was a buzzword and it was like, real estate agents are being replaced.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a lot of fear around this, like technology is going to replace agents. And then artificial came in and it was like, artificial intelligence is going to replace all these jobs and real estate agents are going to be one of them. As we move forward, now that we have more information, we're starting to understand that it's not necessarily a replacement tool, but think of it more of a partnership tool, right? So like the same way you would view yourself as an agent to partner with a brokerage of choice or a team of choice, because they had tools and things that allow you to be a better, more successful person as an agent, is the same way you'd want to treat technology now, right? So now you're partnering with technology, and how can you get more out of this technology to make you better, faster, stronger? And that's what this artificial intelligence really is. It's a way to make you better, faster, stronger than your competition when you partner with this technology. It's not a replacement. So I kind of wanted to get that out of the way, because there's still, when I talk to people about technology and artificial intelligence, that seems to be the thing that's running in the back of your mind. Like, am I going to be replaced? I don't believe that is possible. We're still in a relationship business. Artificial intelligence just enhances that business.
So now, it's like weightlifting with steroids, right?
Well, I have a really good way to help people understand what this is if you don't truly understand it. Most of all of us, right, have shopped on Amazon.com, right? So there's times where you put an item.
I've never heard of that company.
Yeah.
What is Amazon?
Right. So there's times when you put a product in a cart, and then all of a sudden they try to upsell you on other things that they think that you might want to purchase, or that accompany that product purchase that you just made, right? So those are ways to kind of track your intentions and your actions in life, and they're making additional money on upsells, or they're benefiting you by giving you products that you didn't think about purchasing that accentuate your initial product purchase. So with that being said, what Brad has created in that whole team at Likely is it's giving you a list of people that are most likely in market thinking about doing something based upon their activities of life, their online things, just their relationship with the digital world. So gives you pre-market knowledge. In essence, it gives you an opportunity to get there before your competitor. Check it out. Knock on the door. Send postcards. Do all your marketing activities to go ahead and see if those people are doing something. So I love it.
That's a really good point. Gene, I'm gonna go to you real quick, and then I want to go back to Brad. I have so many questions personally, because he and I have been working behind the scenes on some different products. But Gene, give me your thoughts.
I'd rather hear actually from Brad on this, but what I would say is that this, to me, is a time where I think AI is starting. Realtors are 5 years behind the times all the time, right? Like they just seem to always. Yeah, I swear they are. $5 short and 5 years behind. Listen, that's just the truth. I mean, you can say what you want. I'm still trying to convince people to do video 14 years later, right? Like, it's incredible to me, the conversations I still have with some folks. But
Well, I've had those conversations.
I'm sure you have. But what I would say right now is now's a really good time to start doing some research on what actually artificial intelligence means in the space and what geofencing is, and like dive into some marketing materials that we talk about on the show and do a search on a definition like artificial intelligence and my marketing. Like, do some research on these things. I feel pretty good that there'll be a couple videos out there. What's this thing called out? Nick, what's the name of that?
Called
video?
Real Estate Uncensored.
YouTube, that new thing, YouTube. Yeah. I think YouTube has videos some informational videos that'll kind of explain this stuff to you. So I know most people watching this, and this is not a knock, we're going from 0 to 100 miles an hour. Like, yes, there's people that haven't even started the car yet. So my advice would be to just start digging in a little bit, spend a little time here, a little there, educating yourself on what artificial intelligence is and how it relates to the game of real estate and your marketing. And the next time we have Brad on and we talk a little deeper about it, it'll make more sense.
Well, we're going back on the 30th, and we're going to go deeper on this. This is a preview. So, Brad, now that we've all just talked out of our mouths, tell us a little bit about what Likely.ai is, predictive analytics, kind of how you can help real estate agents and everything else.
Sorry, Greg. Just when you said talking out of your mouth, I was trying to think where else you would.
Yeah, I know.
You and everybody else on the panel.
Yeah, just like, all right, I see where we're going with this.
I hate every one of you right now. Okay. Anyways, back to Brad.
Guys, honestly, like, I think what's happening right now with this, I know they're talking about the shift and this and that. Everyone's kind of saying things, but when you really look at it, I mean, Open Door lost $1 billion last quarter. Right? How do you do that? Every tech company that's in the prop tech space is laying off between 12 and 30% of their workforce. Right? Why does that happen? Right? We know interest rates are going up, and that's then kind of making it so the purchase power isn't there, and then now who's going to be moving? How do you talk to someone into actually this is a good time to sell or a good time to buy? I get there's a lot of those questions going on, but honestly, I think it's more of a stabilizing market. I think you're going to have some people that, OfferPad. I mean, they've been under $1 for a while. They were able to fend off a delisting thing, right? Which is great for them. But there's been a lot of venture capital money put into the space, and it's made for some really cool things that have come up and other things that probably won't last if you really kind of dig into the balance sheets and business models. So what I see happening is that it's not just that the residential realtor team or brokerage, but it's also all the supporting factors that they've come to rely on to some degree, right? How do you make a cash offer if the people don't have cash? Well, there's a couple of companies can help you with that now. How do you, right? And I think some of those there's going to be some consolidation, and some of the other business models that just were more, play money for venture capitalists will go away to a degree. And as this happens, why does this matter to everyone on this call? Is that it really is going to be a skills-based market. And so if you know how to do real estate, you're going to succeed. Whether or not it's on the investing side and you're looking for new ways to find distressed properties, or if you're, on the retail side and you're looking to, get that next listing or grow your listing business by X or Y, or if you're a lender and you now are challenged in a rate market, how do you pre-approve someone that's in a 3% to a 7%? Why would they do that? Well, maybe it's home equity lines of credit. There's all these other new things at play that I think when you look at the holistic view of the market, it really comes down to doing a lot more with less. There's been some fringe benefits that if you've only been in the market for the last 3 years, you've kind of gotten used to order taking. And right now, it's going to be back to what's in my database. Where are my forms? What do I say? What do I send? How often do I send? Kind of the frequency by frequency, right? What frequency do I communicate on? How frequently do I do that thing?
Mm-hmm.
And usually the first step on that is, okay, well, who do I send it to? I think Nick and Gene and Jake, you guys are great for what to send, probably what channel to send. But it's like, who do I send it to? Like, is it my farm? Is it my database where I have a bunch of old seller leads, or I've been in the business for 30 years and I have fragmentation in 16 different databases. So that's a problem that I saw that was kind of at the core of what do I do next if I was a practicing residential realtor today. And that's a problem that we as Likely wanted to solve, because we know there's great people like everyone on this call that can help them take action once they know what to say to who. And right now they don't even know who's in their database, where do they live, changes that are going on with that home. Like they don't have the insight because there hasn't been a tool built like what we're going to be talking about later in the month.
So let's talk about that for half a second. Gene, Nick, Jake, anyone jump in, because I think there's a lot of good intel that you guys can give to Brad and to the Likely .ai community in regards to how to get involved with your sphere of influence, your SOI. So whoever wants to jump in, go. All right. Don't talk all at once, motherfuckers. Fuck you.
Oh, we had to do it again. We had to do it.
That was actually really.
I think like we talk about it ad nauseum on this show, but the database is the business, and what Brad and his company did is realized that okay, if I have to work smarter to survive, like having a list of 5,000 people with some have email addresses, some have phone numbers, some have addresses, like that's a worthless list, right? You might as well that doesn't mean anything. When you have everything actually filled in, all the data, all the missing pieces, and then from purchase behavior and things that are going on online and everything that Brad pulls in from his data to say that these 10 people are the 10 people that if you bumped into the grocery store and saw this person, they would want to have a real estate conversation with you. So then you have a conversation, you reach out to that person and they go, I was just talking to this person. I was just talking to my wife and we were saying about this house down the street. And it's funny that you called and this, that, or the other. So we don't need to, as real estate agents, close 100 deals a month. I mean, there's some teams that do, right? But on average, if you're a real estate agent and you're closing between 2 and 4 deals a month, you got a pretty good business and you're pretty happy with your life. So if all you needed to do was scrub your database that has thousands of people in it and find 4 to 10 people to talk to on a monthly basis to turn those into transactions, like that sounds like a much better proposition than cold calling, in my opinion.
Hey, cold calling's fun, okay? It's like a sport.
That's not what he's saying, though. He's just saying work smarter, right?
I agree.
We have so much. We have a little bit of time when you really look at it, and money is precious, right? So if you can save time and money by being more accurate and more precise, then you can allocate more time and money to other things to go ahead and help yourself scale or just stay relevant in business, right? So it's just pre-market data. I love the database refresh product. So if we change as humans, and last year we could have done a really badass job with cold calling and marketing and circle prospecting the hell out of our database, and then we might have not touched it for a little bit of time. We change. People might be thinking about moving, selling. Things happen as humans, right? So for everybody's ability to go ahead and actually refresh their database to see what kind of new indicators are coming up, it's smart.
It is smart. And the funny thing is that I paid a certain amount of money to Brad the other day to get my database refreshed. And the content that they sent to me was ridiculously full. Like I was incredibly impressed. And Brad, I want to shoot this over to you really quickly. Veronica Jones has a question on the screen. Can you read that out loud and then answer her question, please?
I think it's around just how do you consolidate fragmentation in the CRM, right? You've got the same John Doe and 6 systems. How do you keep it, clear? Is that right?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay. So part of what the refresh engine does is you can connect, you get different apps, upload files, insert individual, contacts, and then we normalize it and say, okay, this is, Mr. Jones, and he's at 101 Main Street. From there, before then, we know that a lot of people in your database probably only have a name and an email, or a name and a phone number. So you don't even know physically like where they live, like what's the asset that you could sell. So the first thing we do is, for anyone that doesn't have a physical property address, is we do a couple of different things on the back end to find the most current address. So we take you from somewhere in the 40%, 30% that have addresses, maybe less than that, usually up to about the 70 to 80%. There's going to be some that just aren't there because there's not enough info on them. But once we have a good majority of your contacts with a property address, then we can bring together all of the surrounding demographic, property details, ownership information, and apply our artificial intelligence models to score them for how likely they're to be stressed, how likely seller they are, and then we monitor them. Like, that's a major new thing, is that we think of it as a change log if you want to talk geek speak. But as anything evolves or changes from LTV to, as it goes from an in-state owner, out-of-state owner, does the likely seller score up by this much, or does the distress score go up, or does the loan to value adjust, or does the automated valuation change by this amount? Whatever it is that matters to you and your business, whether you're an investor, a realtor, or a loan officer, or mortgage servicer, or whatever. We then push those back to whatever platforms you have connected that you set up. Say, hey, when this event happens, send it to Follow Up Boss with this tag. And that allows you to kick off automations in the platforms you already have. So think of the refresh engine, and we'll be launching it December 1st, as an add-on, a snap-on to your CRM or marketing platforms, where you can funnel all of it in there. It's like an intelligence platform. Take all my fragmented things I have all over the place, put it into one place that's not owned by my brokerage or something else if there's concern there. And we have clear disclaimers. It's your data, not ours. This is for us to help the industry. And then we monitor everything, right? And give you this, apply our artificial intelligence, and then allow you to push it back. So it's a clean kind of end-to-end. Let's enrich your database. Let's score it and monitor it, and then allow you to push things back. So set it up once, and then watch your campaigns just reap the rewards. So you can do custom audiences on Facebook, or you can do postcard campaigns, but stop them as soon as a property goes on market, rather than wasting $1 every single month and you continue to do it, or have your ISAs call out. Like, there's so many applications here that we keep hearing from different people. It's a very exciting point. And so I know Greg will be sharing a link to our kind of hey, if you're interested in getting more and kind of being first access once we launch, also a good amount of other product information on this page. Check it out, guys. Read it. There's no commitment, and if it is something you think, holy crap, like this is legit. We have a pre-launch offer that we love to extend to everyone that's on any one of your guys' networks, where we give you 2 months for free. We give you 2 months of the product for free, the refresh, for 1,000 contacts. All we ask for is to help cover the expense of all the data enrichment. So for a single payment of $59.97, you get 1,000 contacts for 2 months, plus all of our marketing playbooks and cheat sheets and everything else that comes with it. You'll see it all broken down on those websites. And then after those first 2 months, our list price is $49 for each 500 unique contact properties. We're going to give you 1,000 for $49.99. So you kind of get a double benefit of opting in for this pre-launch special, guys. We know that you're going to love it. You just got to try it. So the best I can do is kind of do the infomercial guy. Hey, I want to give you my product for free. Just pay for postage, right? Well, the postage for us.
So are you the ShamWow guy?
Yeah, I know. Radish has some towels and, like.
Okay. And we just lost Jake. I don't know where Jake went. He
Yeah,
to
he had
go
internet
through-
issues, I think.
Yeah, that dude came out and cut his router off probably.
Yeah.
He probably did. Gene, you've been super quiet. I want to hear your thoughts on this because I know both you and Nick can tear this thing apart in a good way and really bring value to the agents who are listening. So, I mean, give me your thoughts.
You know, I've been quiet because I'm behind the scenes there. I just had a fire drill with one of my clients, so I was actually handling that, knowing that we were in good hands with the rest of the crew here. So
With the McDaniels times 2.
I was thinking about Nick and Jake, but sure.
You fucking dick.
Come on, man. You just lay it up for me. That's too easy. It's too easy. No, I actually, if I'm being honest, I was sort of when Brad was talking about the 2 months of data and all that stuff, I actually was thinking about another, and I'm not going to say it on here right now because we'll talk about it off air, but I was thinking about another application use for the data.
Pornhub?
Not Pornhub, no.
No, okay, no, not Pornhub.
I'm a good Christian fellow. That's not
Okay.
It's not what I do. But no. I was thinking about another application that it could be used in. I mean, like Nick said, it's all in the database, right? This is where the billions of dollars are. Facebook's worth what it's worth today, not because of the people that are on there, but because of the 6,500 points of data they have on every single user that's there, right? So data is the new gold. That's what it is. So if you have the gold in your local geography and you have people behind it that know how to spin that gold into gold mines, let's say, you're going to win. I actually just said fucking nothing right there. That was amazing.
That was a word salad.
That was actually
I
really
didn't
good.
get anything out of it. There weren't any tomatoes or nothing. No avocado. My
That was the part of the show where we're talking out of other parts, not our mouth.
There we go.
There it is.
What other parts, Nick? What other parts?
The asshole. Talking out of our asshole.
The asshole.
Yeah.
Me like the one who left? Okay. All right. Still love him.
Oh, wow. He's not even here to defend himself.
I still had to beat him up a little bit. Nick,
Tough.
give me your thoughts on Likely and kind of the whole refresh idea. I know for a fact, I was with Brad yesterday, looking over spreadsheets. It's so intuitive. And once you understand how to work it, it's awesome sauce on how you can really analyze properties and look at opportunities and the whole thing. It's really cool stuff. So Nick, how would you market that?
Well, I think so. If you have a database, you're step one. All right. We talk about having a customer list, communicating with a customer list. If you're a level 1 real estate agent or business owner, you have a list of customers in some sort of CRM. It could be multiple CRMs. You could have been in business for a long time, 10 years. Maybe you use, Top Producer. Now you got Follow Up Boss. Maybe your company gives you one. You got KV Core. You got all these fragmented places where you have lists of people that have either bought from you, uploaded from Gmail, whatever. Like that's level 1. Level 1 is just, okay, I do have my customer list in some capacity. Level 2 would be, okay, now I have my customer list in one central place. I've tagged all my people. And I have automation set up through this one specific CRM to do things like birthday messages and anniversaries and things like that. That's like a level 2 agent. Probably 25% or less of realtors are at that level 2 of having a sophisticated database and actually are communicating with them via either their own system or through automated technology. What Brad is offering with Likely.ai is the level 3. And this is what I was talking about with partnering with technology, because the analogy that I'll give you is we've been driving around right now. If we don't talk about our database and the current way that we communicate with our customers of like driving in a car, right now we would be the equivalent of driving in a car with no instrumentation. We don't know how much gas we have. We don't know how much tire pressure we have. We don't know how fast we're going. We're just in a car. And we think we're doing something cool because we're driving from point A to point B and we don't have to walk. So like we think we're better. We think we're doing good. What Brad's artificial intelligence is doing is now you're in a car and now you have the computers working for you. You know when you get in the car and the check engine light comes on, it says put some tire pressure or put some air in your tire. The computer tells you that. You know that. You're not walking up to your car. You need to change the oil. The computer tells you that, right? You need to put gas in the car. The computer, the dashboard tells you that. That's what this partnership with artificial intelligence is. You have a database that is just a wasteland. It's a desert of people that you've just dumped years and years and years, and you have no idea how to communicate with those people. There's no two-way feedback. Your system does not tell you, hey, you should call this person because they just did this thing. That's where the partnership with artificial intelligence comes in. That's when you can actually have technology working for you so that you know how much gas is in your car. You have a predictability of knowing that you can get 2 or 3 deals a month because the technology is working on your behalf while you're out closing deals, while you're out talking to other people, or, you know, while you're watching a baseball game or something, not working. God forbid we don't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But partnering with the technology so that it knows when to tell you and notify you when things are happening is super powerful. And that's what this level 3 database, artificial intelligence, is doing.
I love it, Brad.
Woo!
Weigh in on that one. That was awesome.
Woo!
Now, he was talking out of his mouth.
He sure was. Man.
You're
My
a good
goodness.
mouth speaker. Hopefully, you're not a mouth breather. Sometimes I do that.
I have a deviated septum, so I breathe out of my mouth a lot. Yeah, unfortunately.
We have so many jokes. I'm not going to put on air about that. But let's talk about doing that kind of marketing. Brad, how would you approach an agent with that mentality of like they want to get involved, but they don't know how to get involved because it's like it sounds too simple, but it's not simple because you actually have to pick up this thing called a telephone and you call somebody. How would you encourage an individual to go out there and actually make the calls?
Well, I don't think it's just calls. I think that you are going to have full spectrum here, right? So whatever CRM or marketing platform you have, we can push those notifications back. Like when, let's just say there's a foreclosure recording date or the owner occupancy flag goes from non-owner to owner occupied or the other way around. And those can trigger things like a handwritten postcard, or maybe it's a one-off email or adding someone to a seller email campaign that you have, like a 33 touch, whatever it would be. It's a way to revitalize contacts that have gone stale, that have just never converted, but they at one point expressed interest. So rather than spending a lot of money on a contact and doing a 30 days of pain and then throwing them away, re-engaging them at the right time with, non-generic content that's kind of pertinent to things that are happening around their property, makes you not just look like the local expert, but you become the local expert in their mind. So that should usually lead to a call or a text, but it doesn't have to start there. And that's where the power, I think, of being able to not just do a sphere of influence, but it can also be a market area, like your geographic farm. Load that. Let us monitor that for you. Well, let us score that for you. So maybe you're a new agent. You want to dominate this portion of this zip code. Great. Get it from your title rep, and rather than sending it just to the printer, load it into the refresh engine. And then from there, automate what you send to your printer. That way you're not doing 3,000 cards a month, you're doing 300 cards a month, right? But they're very targeted cards, or whatever platform, and Nick and Gene, I defer to you on what platform you do that to, but maybe it's adding them to a custom audience list on Facebook that you're running, what's my house worth type of ads. Like there's 1,000 ways to leverage once you have the intelligence that something's happening, and getting it as in real time as you can. And I'm not trying to downplay the AI, because that's where this whole thing started. Like you have to have that, but I know that kind of goes into the depth of a black box. Like what the hell is this thing? Like doesn't matter. Oh, there's been people talking about it and it's a bunch of BS in the past. So give it a try, guys. Like every time we've taken the Pepsi challenge, we've come out tasting great. And so take the Pepsi challenge, get 2 months for the cost of just basically skip tracing your database. So you're going to get a whole lot more out of it.
Oh, and by the way, guys and gals, when Brad and I were chatting the other day and I paid for the skip trace, and I actually did, that was not a free thing. I actually paid for it. You know what? The information.
You covered our expense. I gave you a brother discount, but I mean, there's real incremental costs.
Would
right?
you just shut the fuck up and let me just kind of promote you? Okay, shut the fuck up.
You
Jesus.
guys are related. That's amazing.
What I'm saying is the data I got back was phenomenal. Phone numbers came out of my rear end, emails the same way. It was awesome. Nick, you have an opportunity here to share your screen, which you're doing right now.
Dude, you and I are on the same damn page, bro.
From
I
our
really
from our
fucking hate
favorite
both of you.
Veronica Jones, Uncomfortable Conversations with Greg McDaniel. Now that we are all done talking out of our mouths.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Veronica. That is
We get at least
amazing.
one every episode. It's
Veronica's well.
unbelievable.
Veronica's fired. Okay, he's fired. But I love her to pieces. Nick, what would you do with this data? Let's say you
awesome.
got a data set that was just locked solid and ready to rock and roll with phone numbers and emails and contact addresses and everything else. What would you do with that? And then, Gene, I'm going to you on this.
All right,
And
so
again, Veronica, you're an asshole, but I love you. But
we've talked about old school, new school, right? So like the idea of, or the concept of marketing is to market to a bunch of people with a message that a few of those people respond to, and then they come into your world, and then you convert those into sales, right? Like that's a general, just market to a lot of people to get a few people to say yes. Well, with Brad's data, we don't have to market to all these people because we already know who the few people are that are going to say yes. You just need to get in front of those people. So you take that top layer off of the equation, and one of the ways that I know that converts really well is the direct mail side of the house, which a lot of people have run away from because they talk to guys like me, they listen to shows like this, and they hear about video marketing and YouTube ads and TikTok ads and Facebook, and there's some secret that I don't have to actually put in any work. I just do, pay this guy to do this thing, and then my business blows up. With Brad's data, he's identified the people who are most likely to move. Send those fucking people postcards, like a lot of postcards. That's the first thing. Second thing would be calling those people. Get in touch with those people via old school, traditional, whether you're on the phone or whether you have somebody else on the phone. Then on the backside, you implement the Facebook side of the house, the custom audiences, so that when they get your postcard and they throw the first one in the garbage can and they throw the second one in the garbage can, when they go back to Facebook and they see an ad that has the same exact image as the postcard, they remember the image but right before they threw it away in the garbage can, they remember that image, and now they see it on Facebook, and now they click the link on Facebook and they go to an opt-in page, and that's where you capture them. It was probably from the postcard that you sent before, but they came in through the Facebook funnel. So it's that omnipresence of being everywhere is what's effective. But I'm going to say something right now that a lot of people probably haven't implemented. And if I was to attack a small area right now in my own market, I would be taking these addresses. I would be using the postcards for sure. I'd be trying to contact these people for sure. I'd be running retargeting ads for sure. But I would also be making a video sales letter, a specific offer that I could send via email. So now an email communication chain, people are sleeping on email, saying that nobody opens it, less than 20%. Well, guess what? If you have somebody who is going to move and you have a specific thing that can help that person, sending a video sales letter, sending an email to that person with a specific offer that they're seeing on a postcard, that they're also seeing on a Facebook page, with a video of how you can help them and what your offer is to them, is going to work. It is going to convert. Those people are interested already. They see it. Now it's through a means of communication that's not as threatening as a retargeting ad on Facebook. Through the email communication, I think that would probably be one of my number ones right now, along with postcards. And then obviously I always say Facebook because I've been running Facebook ads since 2011. It's very powerful. But specific video messages to these people, and it could be the same message on a postcard. Watch this before you sell your house. That could be the same thing in the Facebook side of the house too, where that's the remarketing message. But sending people to a specific video for that person, and you could get really fancy with dynamic captions to where when they click the link, the video that they're watching is specific to the address that you're sending it to. Like you could be really, really targeted, but instead of being overwhelmed and having to think about, I got to create 30 pieces of video content for my Facebook page this month or 20 YouTube channel videos. And like, there's so many different things. Like, what if all you had to do was make one really good fucking video, like one killer video that you could send and target to those people via postcard, Facebook page, and email. That's the home run.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. I'm going to kick it back to Brad here in a second. But I got a call from a gal. Her name is Karina. She saw one of the videos I did on YouTube, and she and her husband wants to buy like a $2 to $2.5 million home, maybe $3, basically just off my video. So I'm 1,000% in on that. Gene, thoughts, and then Brad, to you for final thoughts.
Yeah, I have two thoughts. Super simple.
Please don't do two thoughts. Please
Two
don't
thoughts.
do that.
They're easy though, but they're quick.
Okay.
First thought is, I have nothing to add. Go back, rewind that 4.5 minutes, and just rewatch what Nick said 5 times.
Awesome.
Watch it 5 times, and you'll understand what we're talking about. The second piece of this here, real quick, and this is more of a question for Brad. I noticed that you put some information. Oh, yeah, there you go. You said, Greg, please share the links. They're in our private chat, so you're okay with me sharing the links on
private
Facebook,
chat. Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's it, bro. That was 2. I told you quick.
That's where you go. Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was short and fast. Let's go back to
That's what
Brad
Veronica
for
said.
final-
Wow.
Let's go back to
Guys,
Brad.
on point.
All right, Brad, your takeaways on the show and some final thoughts on your behalf in regards to how agents can utilize the refresh aspect of your company to really understand who's going to be the most likely to sell.
It just comes down to using the guys to try it. We can put all the time and energy into making the technology work, but if you don't try it, you won't ever get any benefit from it. So give it a try. Take advantage of this promotion, this early access, and the pre-launch special, and implement what Nick said. I think Gene was on point there. Like, just send a postcard each month. Put them on drip campaigns. Like, re-engage with people you already know. It's crazy when you say that 82%, of agents, of sellers use the first person that they talk to. That's a crazy high stat. Refresh Engine gives you that competitive advantage continually, and it can be a touch point because of the likely seller score, or the distress score, or some other piece that changed associated with them or their property that gives you a reason to call. I mean, I remember growing up with our dad, and he always needed a reason to reach out. That wasn't, hey, did you watch the baseball game last week? But like something that was, actionable for the owner to show that you knew what you were doing. So, get that competitive advantage. Be the first one to know, so you can be the first one to get in touch. And then it's about your presentation. And 82%, that's pretty high number. So just even locking in and knowing the market somewhat, you should get that deal. So, we want to see you guys just crush it. As the market shifts should not mean that your business dies. The people that are investing in their business today are the ones that, as the market, continues to correct, will own the market share. So if you banked some of that money you've made in the last 2 years, deploy some. Don't deploy all, be smart. But this is a good place to deploy a very small amount with a big benefit.
So I got to cut you off right now. I hear a lot of whining in the background. Can you show us this beautiful new addition to your life?
I can't. He's in the other room. His name's Kevin. And he's,
Stop it.
I
Stop
love
it.
It's such a cute dog.
Kevin, and he's I guess a purebred European retriever. I didn't know that there was an American European, but there's all this people really care about. I don't know. I'm learning as I go, but it's
by the way, it is the cutest freaking dog you've ever seen.
That's an incredible name.
I love
just when
Kevin.
people
Yeah,
name their dogs
Kevin's
that
great.
Yeah, well, we started because our kids like Up and like the weird birds named Kevin and Doug seem too much like dog, and we probably messed that up. So like the little bird they're trying to catch throughout the movie Up is Kevin, and then my wife was like, I was like, well, it has to be a name that you're willing to yell from your porch because you're gonna lose, you're gonna run away at some point.
Yeah.
And so he goes, Dad. I'm like, man, that sounds like Home Alone. Now I'm like liking this name even more because people will think that literally Kevin is gone. And so I'm like, let's go with Kevin.
That's really good, dude. Really good. Best thing in the podcast all day, actually.
I saw a thing on Instagram the other day. It said it's bad to name your dog Shark when you take it to the beach.
Yeah.
And just be like, Shark! Hey, Shark! Get over here.
That's awesome.
Anyways, let's do final takeaways from the show. Gene, I want you to go first. Then I want to really kind of double back. Hold on. Why the fuck is this thing being such a dick? Nick, I want you to double down, and then Brad, take it away for us. One thought on kind of what you took away from this.
Yeah, sign up for the free offer. I mean, take 2 months free of data, see what it looks like. Why not? You got two. Listen, this is a market right now where you got to come up with creative ways to generate leads into your funnel, and maybe this is it. I don't know. So why not? I mean, it costs you nothing except maybe some time to learn a little bit. And like I said, if you're going to take the next month, we're coming to the holidays. You'll have some downtime to do a little reading. You'll have some downtime to sort through these lists. And if it costs you nothing, I don't know what you're doing. So give it a whirl.
Yeah, it's great takeaway. Nick, thoughts from you? Your takeaway.
Partner with technology to make you bigger, faster, stronger, right? I mean, like that's at the end of the day, you can only go so far by yourself. You already trust. It's funny who we trust and who we listen to, right? So like if you listen to somebody, if you're basing your thought process around other agents that are in your office that aren't really even doing that much business and they're telling you that, oh, I tried this thing and it didn't work. Like before you say no to something, think about why you're saying no. So if you're saying no, or immediately in your mind, you have a story in your mind about why you are not going to try artificial intelligence because you tried this one service 5 years ago when artificial intelligence first came out, and that's the story that you have in your mind that all artificial intelligence is the same. I want to tell you now is the people who are successful are the ones who implement things, but they also try a lot of things, right? So I'm not saying that you should spend all your money and just buy everybody's shit, but like I'll tell you as a marketer, one of the reasons why I know so much as a marketer and why I'm so successful is because I have bought everybody's shit. Everybody in the marketplace, every company, everybody who had an offer, I bought it and looked at it and studied it and then said, I can make this better. I guarantee you that's what Brad has done with artificial intelligence. There's been a lot of bullshit artificial intelligence in the market in the past 5 years. Likely he's not one of those bullshit artists, right? They've studied the market. They've seen what's effective and they've made it better. So if you haven't tried one of these things ever, try it. If you've tried it before and it didn't work, try this one.
I like it. I like it.
Can I
Brad.
ask something before we go to Brad?
Of course.
What's that? I don't know if I'm just noticing this for the first time, but you have a saw on your shelf back here?
I do.
What the fuck are you doing with a saw?
So you want to end the video on a happy story?
Talking about Nick, with the saw.
Oh, yeah. Right. So people that can't see it, yeah. Do I want to end the interview? Podcast with what?
this saw right here is
the drill next to it.
Is my grandfather's table saw, or not table saw, but circular saw, and he was the one who actually taught me how to cut wood. I cut my first piece of wood. He's the one who taught me everything about woodworking. And so that saw is about 40 years old. That's awesome. I've kept it as a memory because he's the one who taught me everything I know about woodworking. And so it's there in the background.
Dude, that's
I was going to make fun of you, but I can't do that.
Gene, shame on you for making fun of me.
I didn't. I was going to, but now I won't.
I know. You shut the fuck up, okay?
All right.
Brad's going like, this show is going so sideways. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, well, my final thoughts, Greg, is pretty simple. I mean, it's a quote from Warren Buffett that I think about a lot. That goes something along the lines of, only when the tide goes out do you know who's swimming naked. right? And
Wait, say that again.
only when the tide goes out do you learn who's been swimming naked. Basically, it's supposed to say that there's a lot of people that are fake until they make it, or they don't have the campaigns together, or they don't have the skills to do what they do. And right now, with the market shifting, the tide's going out, right? And the data is something that can bring your shorts back on, and it's the new currency. So make sure you're leveraging it the best you can.
So naked swimming is your takeaway?
I love that that's what you took away from that.
Yeah, and I think
All right. No, that's actually really
Truly, my brother.
Do we all need to stand up and show what we're wearing on bottom?
Yeah.
don't make that mistake, Nick Stackers.
that's not a good move. That's not a good
That's
move.
a whole nother show, my friends.
Oh, so
You
we
think
have
you're
naked
shadow
swimming.
banned now?
That's
Yeah,
a good
right.
review.
All right, so let's do our call out really quickly. I know we all have other things to do in life. Brad, Gene, and Nick, colors for the bow on the show. Brad, you're first.
Gray and green.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Green.
So, oh man. All right.
All right,
Philly
green.
colors.
All right,
Yeah, it's
gray
all
and green.
good.
Well, I
Welcome.
don't know where that's coming from, but I can't wait to hear the story. Gene, what's your color?
Purple, pink, and yellow.
Oh, Jesus.
Motherfuckers, what
He
you
did
guys-
too. I'm doing 3. Shit.
Hey, overachiever. Love you.
Purple,
And all, not really. I'm just trying to confuse your brother.
purple, pink, and green. All right. And thank you, Nick, for not being a jerk off.
Oh, peer
Um,
pressure. There's a lot of peer pressure right now.
Served it up on a platter for you.
I'll go brown, orange, red, and
Fuchsia.
black.
Oh,
What?
I want to hear this come back. Go ahead. Put the bow on the show. Let's go.
Brown, orange, what?
Brown, orange, red, and black.
Uh,
At least we gave you all Roy G. Biv colors.
yeah, well, you guys did do that. Yeah, that's not going to work out well. You know what? We have a multicolored bow on the show today, and everybody has an opinion on these things. Here's a really cool thing, is that we love each and every one of you. I don't care what color you are, where you're from, what you do for a living. If you're not selling real estate, really don't care. But we're so thankful to have you be part of our community. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Brad. All of you are complete dickheads for giving me completely complicated colors on the bow on the show, which is supposed to be fucking simple. But
It really
no.
should be the easiest thing you do all week. Really, it really should be.
I'm going to fly to Philly and kick you in the nuts.
You ain't flying nowhere.
All right. Until no one's flying anywhere. We love you to pieces. Until next time, peace out, ninjas. We go. Fucking dicks.